Meta just got caught illegally downloading over 2,400 adult movies from the internet. And when they got sued, their defense was, oh, that was for personal use. 2,400 films, personal use. I'll explain why that's completely ridiculous in a minute. First, you need to understand why Meta specifically wanted adult content. And I'm not joking. There's actually a logical, technical reason that makes this even more concerning for every content creator out there. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you what really happened, Meta's hilariously bad excuse, why adult films are uniquely valuable for artificial intelligence training, and what this means for your business if you create any kind of content online. Because this isn't just about one company stealing movies, this is about protecting everything you create. Let's dive in.
Okay, so who's suing Meta? The companies are called Strike 3 Holdings and Counterlife Media. You might not know those names, but you've probably heard of their brands. Blacked, Tushy, Vixen, these are some of the biggest adult film companies in the world. And I'm not talking about your typical adult content. These companies won awards. They hire real directors, cinematographers, writers. They film in 4K with Hollywood-level equipment. Some of their productions cost more to make than regular television shows. They employ over 100 people. They offer health insurance, retirement plans, competitive salaries. Rolling Stone magazine has even profiled them. In other words, these are real businesses making professional content. So what happened? According to their lawsuit, Meta downloaded 2,396 of their copyrighted films without permission.
But here's where it gets wild. They didn't download these movies to watch them. They allegedly downloaded them to train their artificial intelligence programs. You know MovieGen, that new Meta tool that creates videos from text, or Llama, their language model that can understand images and video. Those programs need to learn from lots of video content to work properly. And according to this lawsuit, Meta took a shortcut. Instead of paying for the rights to use this content, they just took it. Now remember that personal use defense I mentioned? We're coming back to that. Trust me, it gets more absurd when you see the evidence. Business tip number 1. If you're building any kind of artificial intelligence tool or using someone else's content, always get permission first. The cost of a lawsuit will be way more than a licensing fee. Now you might be wondering, how did they catch Meta doing this? This is where it gets interesting. Let me explain how file sharing works in simple terms. Imagine you have a really big video file, like a movie. Instead of one person hosting that entire movie on their computer, file sharing networks let you break that movie into tiny pieces. Then people can download pieces from lots of different computers at the same time. It's faster, but here's the catch. When you're downloading pieces from other people, you're also uploading pieces to other people. That's how the system works. Everyone shares. Now, Strike 3, the company suing Meta, they're smart. They built special tracking tools called VXN Scan and Cross-Reference Tool. Think of it like a security camera for the internet. These tools watch file sharing networks and record who's sharing their movies.
And guess what they found? 47 internet addresses owned by Facebook, that's Meta, were caught sharing their movies. But here's where it gets really interesting. Meta wasn't just downloading a movie and moving on. They were continuing to share these movies for days, sometimes weeks, even after they had the complete copy. Why would they do that? Because file sharing networks have a rule. The more you share with others, the faster you can download from others. It's like trading lunch snacks in school. If you share your chips with someone, they're more likely to share their cookies with you. Meta was sharing these adult films to get better download speeds, so they could grab even more content from the internet.
Over 100,000 transactions, all documented, all recorded. And remember, we're still coming back to why they wanted this specific type of content. That explanation is coming up, and it's going to make you rethink what makes your content valuable. Business tip number 2. If you create content, consider using monitoring tools to track where your work appears online. Companies like Pixie for photos or Muso.ai for videos can help you find unauthorized use. Now here's my favorite part of this story. In a different lawsuit last year, Meta admitted to downloading hundreds of thousands of pirated books the same way. And internal emails from Meta employees showed they knew they were doing something sketchy. One employee literally wrote, "Not sure we can use Meta's internet addresses to download pirated content, haha." So what did Meta do? They set up hidden servers, separate from their main corporate network, to hide what they were doing. They literally built secret download centers. But Strike 3 figured this out. They analyzed millions of download records and found patterns like the same types of content being downloaded at the same time from different internet addresses. Or French language movies downloaded together, then Russian movies, then Japanese, following patterns that matched Meta's known addresses. No human being downloads content like that. Only automated computer programs do. They even found at least one Meta employee downloading these movies from their home internet connection using Meta's download scripts. Now remember that personal use claim? We're about to tear that apart. Business tip number 3. If you're running a company, make sure your employees know the rules about using copyrighted content, even if they're working from home. you can be held responsible for what they do on company time with company tools. Okay, so Meta got caught with overwhelming evidence, automated downloads, hidden servers, 100,000 documented transactions. What did they say in their legal response? Personal use. They're claiming that downloading 2,400 professional adult films was for personal use. Hey, let me put this in perspective. The average movie is about 90 minutes long. If you watch these movies back to back, 24 hours a day with no breaks, it would take you over 6 months to watch them all. And remember, these weren't just downloaded. They were shared continuously, automatically, by computer programs in patterns that no human could possibly recreate.
Many of these movies were downloaded the same day they were released.
Meta's systems were watching for new content and grabbing it immediately.
Some films were downloaded from multiple internet addresses at the same time, in different video quality versions. Meta continued sharing these films for weeks after downloading them, something that only makes sense if you're trying to download other content faster. Does any of that sound like personal use to you? And here's the kicker. In that book piracy case I mentioned, Meta downloaded 81.7 terabytes of pirated books. That's about 16 million pages of text. Nobody's reading 16 million pages for personal use.
Business. Tip number 4, document everything. If someone accuses you of copyright problems, you need to show clear business purposes and proper licensing. Personal use won't protect your company if you're using content in your business operations. All right, here's the question I promised to answer. Why did Meta allegedly target adult content for artificial intelligence training?
You might think it's random or embarrassing, or just because it's easy to find online.
But the lawsuit explains something really important, and this should worry every content creator. Adult films provide unique training data that you can't get anywhere else. First, they're shot in very high quality, 4K resolution with professional equipment. Meta needs high-quality video to train video generation tools. Second, they show types of human movement, body positions, and physical interactions you don't see in regular movies or TV shows. If you're training artificial intelligence to understand how human bodies move and interact, this is incredibly valuable data. Third, they often have long, continuous scenes without cuts, which helps artificial intelligence understand how movement flows naturally over time. Most TV shows and movies cut every few seconds. Adult content doesn't. Fourth, they include unique sounds, dialogue, facial expressions, and emotional reactions that don't exist in mainstream content. For an artificial intelligence trying to understand how humans move, interact, and express themselves, this content is actually really valuable training material.
And here's something interesting. A Wall Street Journal investigation recently found that Meta's chatbots are unusually quick to engage in romantic and explicit roleplay conversations. Internal Meta employees raised concerns that the company may have crossed ethical lines by quietly giving artificial intelligence the capacity for fantasy intimate content. Coincidence? The lawsuit argues that Meta's repeated training on this specific content has influenced how their artificial intelligence behaves. And here's why this matters to you. Whatever makes your content unique, your style, your techniques, your approach, that's exactly what makes it valuable for artificial intelligence training. Meta isn't just stealing generic content. They're targeting high-quality, unique content that gives their artificial intelligence an advantage.
Business tip number 5, add clear copyright notices to all your content. Use watermarks on images and videos when appropriate. Include terms of service on your website that specifically prohibit artificial intelligence training without permission. Let's zoom out to the big picture. Meta is worth over $1.7 trillion. They could easily afford to license this content properly, but they chose not to. Why? Because they're in a race. Every big tech company is trying to build the best artificial intelligence tools, and these tools need massive amounts of video, images, and text to learn from. Licensing all that content would cost billions of dollars.
So some companies are taking a gamble. Just take everything from the internet, claim it's publicly available, and hope they don't get caught or that the law protects them.
Mark Zuckerberg recently announced Meta will spend hundreds of billions building artificial intelligence data centers. One will be the size of Manhattan. They're offering some artificial intelligence researchers up to $100 million to come work for them. With all that money, why steal content? And here's what should worry you. If Meta can take professional studios' work without paying, what stops them from taking your content? Your YouTube videos, your Instagram posts, your blog articles, your product photos, your website copy. They're using it to train artificial intelligence tools that will eventually compete with you. Imagine spending years building your brand, creating content, establishing your style, and then an artificial intelligence creates similar content in seconds for free because it learned from your work. A US senator recently called this the largest intellectual property theft in American history. Business tip number 6.
Understand that all your content has value, even content you might not think is premium.
Protect everything you create because you never know what someone might want to use it for. So what happens now? This lawsuit is ongoing. We don't know how it will end yet. But here's what to watch for. If Strike 3 wins, it could force Meta and other tech companies to be transparent about what content they use for artificial intelligence training. It could create a whole new licensing market where content creators get paid when their work trains artificial intelligence. Or it could slow down artificial intelligence development because companies will have to spend more time and money getting proper permissions. For you as a business owner, here's what you need to know. 1. Monitor where your content appears. Set up Google Alerts for your brand. Use image reverse search tools. Check if your content shows up in unexpected places.
2. Register your copyrights. It's cheap and it gives you way more legal options if someone steals your work.
3. If you're using artificial intelligence tools in your business, make sure the company providing them has proper rights to their training data. You don't want to build your business on stolen content. Here's my final thought. This case isn't really about adult films. It's about whether tech companies worth trillions of dollars get to take whatever they want from creators without asking. It's about respect. It's about fair compensation. And it's about protecting the people who actually create things in a world where machines are learning to copy them. What do you think? Should artificial intelligence companies have to pay for training data? Should there be an opt-out? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay ahead of stories like this, where artificial intelligence meets business and law, make sure you're following AI Agent Explorer.
I'll see you in the next one.